Yeah, absolutely. I think, I think a lot of the course is applicable to what the co-responders may be experiencing. So that's definitely one thing I'm interested in potentially developing. Other thing is potentially creating something for law enforcement. I do a fair amount of work with different law enforcement agencies as well. And I think increasingly there's more of a blending of roles. And so I think, that may be one area where there's a lot of room for this, where law enforcement officers have even less training on these kind of breaking bad news conversations, I think, than EMS clinicians, yet often they're the ones with tasked with calling families and things like that. I was talking to some state troopers a few months back, and they're talking about how, they may have to call and notify family after a bad car wreck, and they're cold calling family that may live in a different state and things like that. And so definitely have some interest. There's a lot of room for, training around these topics as we think more about things like people developing, post-traumatic stress responses to having to have these conversations and things like that, and providing that education and background. I think both with co-responders, like you said, are probably not getting a lot of training on this, but neither are law enforcement. And so it's problematic. And I think really something that we need to start focusing on for all of our clinicians. And I think it's so important because if you can prevent that post-traumatic stress from occurring, these people are going to be happier, healthier, they're going to last longer in your jobs, decrease burnout potentially. And those I think are all benefits, and something that clearly there's been a increase and focus on in the first responder community. So those would be ultimate goals, is to create those courses. It's just got to find the time to do it. Always have a lot of projects I'm working on, so it took me years to kind of to go through and develop this course, and do it in an appropriate manner. So that is on the horizons of the future. I'm just not quite sure when that'll happen.